right, welcome back to another episode of the CarterCast. I'm your host, Carter Baughan. Family pot, we're all here. I don't think this has ever happened. We've got Dylan, we've got Bryan, we've got Grant, we got Connor. This is crazy. I don't even know how to start this thing. NFL Week 3. I will start this by saying, if you didn't listen to the recap, I want to apologize again for Texas Tech blowing the parlay, the pick six on the last play to ruin the plus 6.5 cover. My fault. Hand up. That's my fault, guys. That's my fault.
We forgive
Scouts
you. It's okay. We forgive you. We're back on it this week. We're back on this week with a great slate, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're not doing college football. We're going to talk about our best bets. We'll give out a parlay. But this week just flat out stinks. It sucks. It's awful. There's no getting around it. I mean, there's a reason why every network is at Colorado State. Like BYU Arkansas, Grant, might be a top 5 game this weekend.
It could be. It very well could be. Plus that little, we'll tease it now, but those points, I'm liking those points.
Anyhow, but let's start in the NFL. We're gonna preview an extra game since we're not doing college football. Let's start off Thursday Night Football. First time on Prime this season. Minnesota at Philadelphia. Line opened at 8, Dylan. Now it's down to 6.5. Start us off here, Dylan. You were high on the Vikings at the beginning.
What can I say? I move the markets. That's what we do here at CarterCast. It's like the Jordan meme. We move the markets. Yeah, I wouldn't take Vikings at this point. I think that's done and over with. It between you and I, and you, Trust Tree probably closes at 5.5. But that's just what I'm saying.
We won't tell anybody.
I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter about, I guess the Eagles have some DBs that are injured or out or missing. I don't know for sure, but I think no matter what, you're getting Kirk Cousins, night game. You got to go interception as well. And I think I've already bet it. I think it was like minus 110, minus 115. I think that's got to be in the cards.
I think so.
Do we? I just want to point. I'm picking up what you're putting down, but usually Kirk Cousins does have a bounce back game. And I mean, it is a short week. It is prime time. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Also, so funny. Every time they red zone went back, it would just be like Kirk Cousins fumbles a snap again. It was just like he did all that work with the Netflix documentary and then just shot it, just threw it in the trash. But I just think I'm with you. I think the Eagles, but I just want to throw that out there. Kirk Cousins can bounce back. You still have Justin Jefferson. You still have Jordan Addison, right? Is that his name? Is that
Yep.
correctly? I don't think they have a tight end. They don't have much of a run game. So I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. If anybody would think what they think about that.
Connor wants to get on this one.
Talking about the Vikings there, right? I think they have a pretty good tight end in the name of TJ Hawkinson, and I was going to give out over 4.5 receptions for Hawkinson because I love that this week. But the best number you can get is minus 166 at DraftKings now. So maybe a little parlay with 4 catches, 50 or 60 yards, probably get you plus money. I like TJ Hawkinson this week.
Yeah, I love the line that you're on, Dylan, being on it early, like you talked about. Now that it's kind of going down, it gets a little bit more iffy right now. I do like what you guys are talking about, prime time, right? But also the bounce back game. You kind of have that even keel from both sides. It's a lot of points. Eagles can straight drown you. They did that a lot of teams last year. This one's for me at this point is a stay away because of not getting on the early line. But like you guys said, would not be surprised whatsoever if this game is literally comes down to a 1-point game or a 2-point game. So it's kind of like one of those games, but this is a Thursday night one that you just kind of want to enjoy and just see if this Vikings team is going to be, an unfortunate casualty of just being super lucky last year. And then this year, they're not that same team.
Am I being square by thinking Kirk Cousins might just crumble in Philadelphia on the road? This is real. He's done it before.
I don't think that's square.
I don't think it is square. I will say, I don't know, those fucking reps of him meditating with the therapist and doing all the things that he's done have to mean something. He's worked too damn hard to not be able to push through this fucking primetime thing. I agree with everybody. I personally stay away, and I agree with Dylan. If you get it at +8, that's Vikings. But I don't know.
Is it prime time? Is it prime time if it's on Thursday?
I think if it's
Yes.
the only game on TV, it's going to be prime time. If it's the only game and everybody's watching, all the attention is on, everybody in the country is turning it on, that's probably constitutes as prime time.
If Al Michaels
What wasn't last year? Every Thursday night game on Amazon was just straight trash. Like the first 6 or 7
Yes.
games. Am I crazy, or is that not what happened?
Al Michaels was falling asleep in the booth last year.
It was like awful game after game after game. So
But they had the Broncos on like 4 times last year. Though. They did that themselves. That was Mr. Bezos' work on his own.
Yeah, they only had the Panthers on once.
Yeah, exactly. That was their mistake.
I'm on. Last thing I have on this game, Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. I'm going square as square can get. He's gonna run in a touchdown. It's gonna just take it. He's probably gonna score the first touchdown. Everyone's gonna try and get cute. You're gonna see all these betting social accounts being like Jordan Addison first touchdown boosted to plus 2,000 or whatever. Just take Jalen Hurts. Just be square. It's even odds.
And I got one more comment on this. Go ahead. Dylan,
I do too. After you, Connor. You go first. I have another comment. Back
ladies
up my
first.
boy.
Let's go.
That was amazing, Dylan. Thank you. I got one more comment on this. Are we going to take anything away from the Eagles showing against the Pats last week in the second half? They looked a little vulnerable, or is that something that's like first game of the year, shake off the rust? They made it to the Super Bowl last year, and they're going to be fine. Like, do we take something from that, or do we just move on?
I think Pats are – maybe I'm in the minority. I think the Pats are good. I don't know. I think their defense is so good. Offensively, they struggle. Nobody can catch the ball on the offense, but their defense is really, really good. They simulate pressure really, really well. They overload side, they do the thing to make it difficult for you to score. And I think if you look at if one of the touchdowns was Kendrick Bourne, wasn't wearing. If you're a receiver and you're not wearing gloves in the rain, you have to catch everything. Yeah. If you're making a statement. And it just bounced off his hands, and it went into, I forget, Slay, and he took it all the way back to the house. So then by the third quarter was 14-16, I just think the Patriots are good. That's the only thing I'll say.
Patriots are a playoff team. They'll make the playoffs, 100%. And we went back to it from the first episode, from the recap episode, but that Eagles game, the Patriots outplayed them. It wasn't even close. The Patriots looked like the better team. If it wasn't for that pick six, the Patriots win the game. The one thing I needed to be convinced of, when it comes to the Patriots, I needed to be proved to that Mac Jones can lead a competent drive down the field when it matters. And he did that. Now, the last one wasn't as great, the one to win the game, but Mac Jones was moving the ball. He was proving that he's more than just a game manager. I love the Pats. I love them, especially with Rodgers going down. I think that the Pats will make the playoffs.
Hold on real quick, Carter. Do they win the division, or are you saying a wild card? Because
I don't think they'll win the division, but I do think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll get the wild card.
Second question off that. Are you saying that the Bills or the Jets are going to finish last in the AFC East?
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm trying to understand from this, because they're making the playoffs. Either
because you got to think you're going against the Dolphins, Jets, and Bills. Who's finishing last in the AFC East?
I mean, now that Zach Wilson's playing quarterback, I do love Zach, but he will go into against the Patriots. That's 2 wins for the Pats because
No, dude, he's a changed man.
He can't play the Pats. I saw last year. Oh,
bro, man. They broke him last year. So if it's any indication, that's 2 free wins. So I get that. So I don't really win the division though. I think Miami's got a better shot, and I also think depends on how Josh Allen keeps playing, but I think the Bills have a better shot.
But we'll get a real good look at Dolphins, Patriots, and how they stack up against each other this week. So I mean, I don't think they win the division though. I'll give you that. I think who's going to win the division? I'm going.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a tough division.
Have a chance.
I think the Patriots can win this division. I know this is. I think Miami. It happens every year. Miami just eats the Pats lunch for whatever reason at the beginning of the season and at the end of the season. But and then the Pats eat the Jets, and it's but it's a weird thing. And I think, is it crazy to say the Bills end up in last? Is it crazy? Because
no,
the way Josh Allen played yesterday.
Yes. It is crazy.
That's not crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. Yes, it is crazy. Yes, Zach Wilson is the quarterback of the New York Jets. That is
Josh
crazy.
Allen lost them that game.
I understand that. It's one bad game. That's like saying the Bengals are all of a sudden going to finish last in the AFC North.
But
now,
it's
because
not
Joe
one
Burrow
bad
had
game when he had 16 interceptions last year. It's
He's
not.
regressed,
That's not one bad game.
They
He has
still
proven
won,
that.
they still won 13 games last season.
But 3
Josh Allen's
interceptions
good
for
for
him is not
double-digit
an
wins.
exception. It's not the exception.
That's one
we know,
game. One game can be the exception. You can have one bad game. We saw it with Joe Burrow on Sunday. Joe Burrow's not a bad quarterback.
I'm not saying that Josh Allen is a bad quarterback. I'm saying that
I think Dylan is. I think Dylan is.
No, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but we can't sit here and say that him having a 3 interception game is an exception.
But
he had all these interception problems last year. This isn't a new thing for Josh.
Dylan. While we're still on this Vikings-Eagles game, is he better than Kirk Cousins?
Just when I'm out, he pulls me back in.
Who would I want on the Titans once Tannehill gets benched? I'd want Kirk.
What?
I'd want Kirk.
Oh man.
Oh man, dude. Ooh.
Fox News Dylan is back.
He's not gonna turn the ball over.
side.
That's all the Titans need. We need someone that's not gonna turn the ball over. Tannehill throws 3 picks. We just need someone little dinks, little screens.
Kirk
going Kirk.
fumbled 3 snaps last week.
That's the center's fault. He was injured. The center was injured. It's the center's fault.
QB center exchange, it's on both of them. That's football 101. It's on both the dudes.
Thank you, Coach.
As a fellow center, as an old center here, that's how I used to bring the fucking boys in. That's how it was.
We are in the weeds right now.
So
boys.
the former center is the one that's saying that it's both of their fault.
Yeah, it's both.
But
That's
I played
accountability.
all-time
That's
quarterback.
accountability.
There is accountability.
All right. Well, that was fun talking about the Vikings-Eagles somehow turned into the AFC East. Let's talk about what game do we want to move on to next? Chiefs-Jags? That sound fun?
Sounds like a great time, Carter.
All right, let's do Chiefs-Jags then. Chiefs minus 3.5 in Jacksonville. There's no weirder place on earth than playing in Jacksonville at the beginning or end of the season. Chiefs minus 3.5. Grant, you were saying it last week. You don't like getting the Chiefs outside of -3. Talk about this line for me.
Yeah, so this is one of those where I'm like, ooh, this division games, they play so weird. And, like, there's just something about, like, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Chiefs. It's always a weird game. I actually do lean, though, the Chiefs in this game, as crazy as that is. I know we just talked about it. Like, it's more the -4.5. Like, right when I'm, like, under that 5 mark, I'm like, stay away immediately. The 3.5 doesn't scares me as much. I actually kind of love, I mean, you guys know how much I love first half plays, but just kind of like hitting that first half line, like under 3, and just living with the fact of like hoping that Patrick Mahomes snaps out of it in the first half, and then just kind of like enjoying the full spread, not worrying about a field goal. So that's kind of what I lean. I'm probably actually going to put some money on the first half of the Chiefs. Don't necessarily love the 3.5, but I do lean the Chiefs in this one.
Connor?
Yeah, I'm with you here, Grant. I actually bet this the day it came out. It was Kansas City -2.5 at -110, so I took that for a pretty good amount. I think this is a complete bounce back game for KC. I think Detroit, it's Thursday night, season opener, no Travis Kelce. It was just weird, some weird juju, like seemed like, Super Bowl champions. I don't know. I didn't really love it. I think Kelce's back this week. Weirdly enough, I think the over 51 might be too low for this game. But then again, Jacksonville struggled against Anthony Richardson. I had Jacksonville money line in a parlay this weekend, and I was never confident they were going to pull that out. I thought Anthony Richardson was going to beat them, and he kept taking hits there at the end. But they struggled a little bit against that Colts offense without even a running back, with Deion Jackson and Evan Hull back there. So I don't know what to make of that. I do love Kansas City on the spread, though. That might be chalk, that might be square, but I do think it's a bounce back game for them.
Dylan.
Without that tip too, by the way, that pass that was right in the hands that ended up being a pick six, like it's a completely different game. So
not even that. If Tony catches one pass, if he catches one of those 5 drops,
will not give a pick six. Yeah, that would help.
Not even the pick 6. You can give up the pick 6. He had so, and he also had that little end around where he could have easily ran it in.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They're so close. Like they don't have that many targets, especially like without. Is he playing? By the way, is Travis Kelce playing? Or is he still out?
As a moment, they say yes, but he's questionable.
Oh, bro.
I still think Chiefs come back and bounce back. I really do.
Chiefs, I don't like betting on the Chiefs. I'm not going to bet on the Chiefs. I'm not going to bet on this game. But if you do look at how that game played out against the Lions, the Chiefs were on the wrong end of some plays that, like Grant said, the pick six, that's an anomaly. That's not going to happen every time when you have professional wide receivers. I don't know, but I want to bet the Chiefs, but I just keep thinking about how the Jags kicked that late game field goal in the playoffs last year to cover 7.5 against the Chiefs. And I'm like, how can I bet against the Jags against the Chiefs? So that's the conundrum that I'm in. So I'm just going to stay away.
I think one of the things that I would love to know is what the pressure rate of the Jags Colts game was. Because like Doug Peterson can scheme it up pretty well. Like he can put an offense together, and you can get guys open. And Calvin Ridley looked really, really good. And they got all these talented guys. Travis Etienne, funny runner. That was I think who I was thinking about. But I do think that like Trevor Lawrence is that dude. Like as much as I think this is a stay away game, I do think that the Chiefs bounce back, because if you get Chris Jones back and you get Travis Kelce back, like these guys are all gas no brakes. So, but I would like to know the pressure rates, and I think that would be something that would be interesting to note. I think that like Dylan said, the Jags can keep it close, but ultimately, if like this team is together and they haven't been able to play together since the Super Bowl, I think this is going to be their like, hey, let's get it right. We're all together. Like, we'll show everybody what we can do. So if you have to pick, I'll take Chiefs, minus 3.5.
Jags pressure rate on the Colts, 23.4%.
Okay.
Colts pressure rate on the Jags was 11.1.
I like the Chiefs here as well. At square. I feel like we're in that weird college game day predicament where it says Chiefs, 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 Chiefs. And then all of a sudden the Jags win somehow.
I don't know. I'm leaning Chiefs pretty much harder now.
It seems so easy. Like, of course this would be the good bounce back spot. Also, take like anybody to score a touchdown in this game. It's probably hitting.
That's what I was about to say. Is I'm gonna double dip here. I'm taking the over. But if you're scared about that, if you're scared about the 3.5, you can get Kansas City money line parlay with the over 44. So give you an extra touchdown, and that's even odds. So if you think Kansas City's gonna win, it's gonna go over 44. That's even odds. If you're scared either way. I like the over anyways. I mean, if the Jacksonville offense looked great last week, I don't think their defense is scared anybody. That weird Tank Bigsby drop that the Colts took back for a touchdown and they counted it, that was an anomaly. So, I don't know. I like the over here too.
Could I interest anybody in Kadarius Toney over props?
No.
I just think when you said that.
I think everybody's on the Chiefs here, except Dylan. You're just full blown stay away. If you had to pick a side, where are you going with the spread here?
Jags.
Okay. You hate.
No one ever got rich betting away favorites. It's just as simple as that.
All right, let's start off. AFC North, Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Right now, there's 3 on a couple books. I'm seeing 3.5, 3. Let's say it's 3.5. Over unders 46.5. Dylan, start us off here.
Ravens, power rated, Wilkerson ratings, 5th best team in the NFL. I am going to take the away divisional dog. It is a public dog. Not a fan of taking the public dog or being on the public dog side. But we did it on the preview show. The Bengals, where they had trouble with on defense, was stopping the run. And I know J.K. Dobbins just went out, but when you have Lamar Jackson, who I'm going to call run-first quarterback, I don't think it really matters who you have in at running back, because you're going to keep the defense on your toes. So I think that's where the Ravens are going to make up. I understand they played a bad Texans team, poo-poo quarterback, Ohio State, C.J. Stroud, but I still expect the Ravens. I don't know if they'll win, but I think it'll be close.
Let me ask you this real quick. If the Bengals lose this game and go 0-2, do you hit the panic button on Cincinnati?
No,
I don't think so either.
Even if it's another blowout?
Okay, in my opinion, blowouts mean so little in the NFL. Unless you're betting on it.
But what about back-to-back blowouts? Back-to-back blowouts just don't happen.
It would depend how it looked. If they looked bad, if they go out and lose 3 fumbles, then I wouldn't be as worried about it. But if they just get outplayed the whole game. I don't know. I'd have to see it, but I wouldn't. The Bengals starting 0-2, there's still a very good chance that they win 12 games.
Okay. Connor, talk to me about this Bengals-Ravens game.
Yeah, I agree with Dylan on the point there to not overreact if they do end up losing 2 in a row. Spread-wise, I would lean Baltimore, although I'm not too confident on that. I like the over here. I like the over 46. Baltimore's got a lot of high-powered options. They got Higgins, Jamar Chase on the outside. We were talking a little bit before the podcast. I think Dylan agreed with me on the over as well. They were 46.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think this Bengals defense, they just let up 24 to the Browns in piss-pouring down rain. And the Ravens are going to be fine. I know J.K. Dobbins is out. Lamar, I think, is going to have a game. I think Lamar's going to have a game. And I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to bounce back. They're too talented not to. 46 is not a ton of points. I mean, each team scored 24 and you're there. So I like the over 46 in this one.
Grant, what do you like?
I lean what Dylan said, taking the points in this game. Just until we know exactly what's going on with the Bengals, it's points for me over, just assuming that the Bengals are going to be 100% right when we're talking about the second game. I don't think I'm going to bet it, but if I had to take a side, I think I lean the Ravens plus 3.5.
I can't interest you in a Bengals minus 3.5 for the parlay this week, Grant.
Bengals minus 3.5?
Yeah, for the parlay this week. Just double dip a little bit.
I'm going to stay away from that one,
Brian, what do you have?
So I'm going to agree with Connor here. I think 46.5 is I think they can both get there. I think that's a solid number to get. In regards to the Bengals, it's September football. These guys, it takes them a much longer time to figure out what the hell's going on. The Patriots are notorious for doing that, and so I think the Bengals started out slow the year they went to the Super Bowl too. So I just think if you're gonna bet on this game, I think that's where you bet. I don't personally like the number. I don't know what either team. I don't know what the Ravens can do offensively.
I think there's going to be a little bit of
sticking close to the Bengals in that way. So I would do 46.5.
I like the over as well.
Thank you, Carter. I think there's going to be a little bit of Joe Burrow just became the highest paid quarterback, a little Joe Cool, Joe Shiesty, and then got shit on by the Browns. He's got to be having a little something in the tank for this game. He's got to come out throwing. He's got to come out throwing dimes, firing off. I just think we're going to see a lot of points in this game. At the very least, we'll see a lot of points. I don't know.
Hey, Grant, what are your 2 favorite words? Live bet.
Oh,
this is a live bet game.
I can see it. Just to kind of see what the vibe is, right? You're let me see the vibe, then I can hammer. I get that.
You see the Ravens go up with an early Zay Flowers touchdown. Maybe he gets the first touchdown, and maybe I play that. Who knows? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? I definitely won't play that, even though I will. Let's see the Ravens go up with an early first touchdown, and then you hit the Bengals at plus 3.5 on the live. I like that a lot more. I think that's the play there. I don't like it pregame spread. I do like Connor's over though. I like that a lot. A little teaser for later.
Thank you. I like that. I like the support.
Anything else on this game? I feel like it's just a AFC North game that's just going to be a bloodbath either way. Someone unfortunately is going to get hurt in this game. Knock on wood. Every AFC North game has to someone gets hurt. It just happens, and I don't root for injuries. I don't. But these games are brutal.
You said I don't. There's people on Twitter being like, Carter, I know you wanted him to get hurt. It's fucking bullshit, dude. Every fucking pod. I've
heard certain people on this podcast may or may not have rooted for injuries towards a certain Travis Kelce one time. I'm not, not my words.
I don't even know who you're talking about, but I know who you're talking about.
Brian, Brian, I know you're not on here a whole lot, but come on, we're better than that. You can't root for injuries on this show.
Not on the Carter Cast. We're not a bit show. Come on.
All right, let's move on. I have this as this may be a cliche term, whatever. This is my Scott Hansen game of the week. Seahawks versus Lions. This is the game you're going to see most on your red zone. When you close your eyes and think about the 1:00 games, you look at the list. I think the square pick would be Chiefs-Jags because it's a high total, high-powered offenses. Mm-hmm. Seahawks-Lions will be littered on your TV there. And we're going back to Detroit where DK Metcalf has caught a 50-yard touchdown, and then 3 minutes later they go back and Jahmyr Gibbs runs for an 8-yard touchdown in Detroit after they returned it 92 yards off the kickoff. This game over. Points. I don't care one bit about the spread. The spread's 5.5 towards the Lions. Over under 47. Give me the over, and I'm also going to put it in a nice little teaser too.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brian. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, this is one of the games that I really like. I like the Seahawks plus 5.5. Yep. I think that, how often the Lions in this spot, as favorites,
lay it 6. Yeah, come on.
But will Geno right back?
So that's the thing. So they struggled in the second half. I think this is the Seahawks need a win. I think that defensively, I think they're gonna figure some shit out. They gotta be they gotta be able to put some pressure on Jared Goff, which I like what the Seahawks have so many offensive weapons now. I think what they showed last week is not an indication of who they are. I think they're going to be battling for the NFC West title.
But I do think their secondary is weak. Yeah. And that's why I love the over in this game, because I just think it's just going to be passing touchdown after passing touchdown at each end, because the Lions secondary stinks too. If Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore could catch a pass to save their lives, Patrick Mahomes would have had a 350-yard passing game.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
Dylan, what's your play on this? I feel like you like the Seahawks in this one.
I do. I wish I would have taken them. There was some point in the week when that line went up to 6 or 6.5. And I thought about taking them. I didn't. I'll probably just end up staying away. But I agree with you. When we look at, just like we said, Kansas City got the raw end of the deal on Thursday Night Football. The Lions benefited from some fluky things, and we want to talk about them scoring 21 points or whatever. Offense didn't look that great. If they didn't have the pick 6, what's that put them at? That's quick math.
Yeah.
14.
Oh my gosh, 14 points. I mean, so they had tons of yards, but couldn't convert on key third downs. Killed some drives. I'm with Bryan there. I would like Seahawks in the points, but I think I'll probably just stay away.
What about the over? Come on.
No.
Come to the light. Come to the light, Dylan.
Over might be back this week.
Dylan, it's so much better up here in heaven with the overs. It's so much better.
I'm not taking the under yet. I'm just staying away.
Yet
the teams couldn't convert. They couldn't convert. They're like Mike Pence trying to pass his agenda in Indiana. There's no conversion.
Here we go. Now we're getting into the weeds.
No conversion.
No.
Gutfield coming up next. Wilkerson.
And our next guest is Bill O'Reilly.
The spin zone,
do it
baby.
live.
My nano would be so happy to hear Bill O'Reilly. Connor, what do you have in this one?
Full transparency, I bet the Seahawks plus 5.5 early in the week, and then I saw a couple 6s on a couple books out there, so I cashed out for $2 less and bet the plus 6 at another book. So I've got Seahawks plus 6 right now. I think it stays. I think it stays pretty tight. Honestly, I do like the over here. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think when Seattle gets in the groove, I think Geno can attack that weak line secondary. So I like the over here as well. But I did get Seattle at plus 6, so I'm going to ride with that.
Grant,
Ooh, boys, I don't know that we're all on it, but this is one of the games I pointed out when we were kind of just briefly looking through everything quickly. It was the Seahawks plus 5 that stuck out to me. I even like the plus 5. Like we talked about, when are you going to get this kind of line against the Lions? I do think again, the Lions are a benefactor of recently been on Hard Knocks. Media loves them, kind of like America's, mid, that weird Michigan vibe. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It just feels like a lot of people are just pumping them up over Dylan's.
Michigan just catch a stray. We're not even talking about college football this show.
Look.
Detroit.
Michigan people, you know what I'm saying? They're out there respecting the Lions, adding that money, maybe a little bit too much on the Lions is what I'm trying to talk about. But no, legit, I just think the plus 5 is a good spot to be in, and I'll take the points. I don't even want to take the over on that. I just want to take the points plus 5. So I'll be playing that one.
Oh, Grant, I'm going to convince you into the over before kickoff. Anything else on this game? Anything else on this game?
Dylan,
I will.
Little JSN touchdown.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he's playing. It's not. I'm surprised he's playing.
Dylan, what about JSN, CJ Stroud and like Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown parlay. What if
How about-
and Fields.
that would be
Pretty good.
that would be the funniest bit. I've been trying to trap Dylan into different things every episode now. That's part of my goal. I should have just had everyone pick an Ohio State player for the anytime touchdown parlay.
Well, we could do that with Michigan players, but the odds would be significantly shorter, probably, since there's not as many. Just kidding.
But no, is it because they're better and they're minus 200, minus 300 to score?
Look at the fuel behind the fire behind your eyes, man.
I
Look
kind
at the
of
flame right here.
I want to take the under, and I want to. This is a good idea for some content.
Oh yeah. All right. What are we thinking here?
I don't know.
This
We'll have
is,
to brainstorm it.
We'll talk about it right now. If we need to edit it out, and it sucks, I can always edit it out. But we talked about this before the season. We have to do a punishment now. Instead of like, hey, I have to bet your pick the next week, it's got to be something hilarious. I vote I'll bet the over, you bet the under, and whoever loses has to watch an entire Amy Schumer special.
Can I make a suggestion?
That's tough.
Go ahead.
Is it possible that the loser of this, for example, like let's say like Dylan, if you lose, you have to like tweet positive things at AOC. Like you got to be like, AOC, I love your last speech. It was so great. Like I can't
So
wait to
empowering.
be
I'm trying
and
to.
find you at your local coffee shop. I'll be there. Like can we do
That's
that?
like-
Just like
That's like a veiled threat. I'll find you at your local coffee shop. Watch out.
Hey, Dylan, I'll let you choose. You have to tweet out supportive things towards one of us has to tweet out supportive things towards AOC, or watch an entire Amy Schumer comedy special and bring a report on it to the podcast next week.
What, right? Like a thesis?
Okay. Choose now.
Yeah, choose now.
Amy Schumer.
oh.
I'm not. I'd lose followers. I'd lose. You don't know
Like
who
the
follows.
idea, Grant?
I like the idea. Yeah, I really do.
I do
Yeah.
too. I do too. That's funny.
Fun
Get
idea.
Politics involved, and it gets interesting, boys. It gets even that much more interesting.
Brian, I don't know if you knew this. We're on Truth Social.
Oh my god!
One of the few sports podcasts on Truth Social. It's dry out there.
We're trying to get our target demographic in a different light, apparently.
Target. I get you.
All right, so that's that. We got a deal there. Amy Schumer special.
That's same for you. If the under hits.
Yeah. If the under hits, I'll watch an entire Amy Schumer special. Oh, my Tuesday night's gonna go to hell. All right.
That's spicy.
Jets at Cowboys. Cowboys minus 9.5. Over under 38.5. Grant, our sweet prince.
Boys.
He has returned. Zach
It's
Wilson.
the season, baby. Season 3. They say the best season is yet to come. Season 3. The first two.
Hey, Grant. What usually happens on the third date?
Hey, sometimes you get lucky.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Cueto and
Bowl.
Trar. Seuss.
that'd be saying like the first date you got in a massive car wreck with her in the car, and then the second date somehow like you got stabbed while you're walking to the dinner. Like
Got raped and
How
stabbed.
bad the first date was. So if the third date we're getting lucky, then that was like, wow. I don't know what we did on the third date, but we did something incredible. That's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, you brought flowers. You're sweet.
We're at the point now where it's like, man, those first 2 dates were so bad. It can only go up from here, right? And that's kind of like where I think all Jets fans are at in the anger / like kind of acceptance phase. I don't think they're all going to be there, by the way, at the acceptance phase by the time the kickoff starts against the Cowboys. I think most fans are still going to be in the anger phase, as we saw with the middle finger up to their own team on Monday Night Football. So, look. This is where we're at, okay? It's Zach Wilson season 3, okay? We're getting the third try at this thing. We now had Nathaniel Hackett, okay? I kind of like that. I like an actual offensive coordinator that has at least been a coordinator. I do like that for the kid, so I like that. I will put that there. And I like the 10 points. We're going to talk about this later, but boys, almost 10 points, even if Zach Wilson is the same guy on the second date that got stabbed, taking his girl out. Even if that's the Zach Wilson we get, 10 points, like the defense can do stuff. And Dak Prescott, as much as we love Dak, he is known for turning the ball over. And if you're talking about this defense, they might be able to capitalize on short fields and getting some quick field goals, a couple field goals during the game, or even maybe a pick six. So I'm all about this game. I don't think this is a great game for Zach Wilson to break out in, to put it that way. I think he's going to struggle mightily against this Cowboys defense. But I honestly believe both quarterbacks are. I think both quarterbacks are going to struggle. I think it's going to be a defensive rock fight. And I love taking almost 10 points in this game. So, like I said, I don't know if they pull out the win. I'd be very impressed. This is a short week for them. It's a tough game. It's just a tough game all around. Like, you're away, short week. Now you got a game plan for Zach Wilson. It's just a hard ask for the. So I don't know if they win, but man, I love that spread.
One thing I wanted to ask you, Grant, real quick is, are people kind of underrating Zach Wilson? Because I think people forget the beginning of last season where he did have a nice record when Breece Hall was healthy. This Jets team was legit when Breece Hall was healthy, and him and Dalvin Cook are healthy.
Zach Wilson was 5-1 before the bye. Now, again, there is nothing that we've seen in the first two seasons that would suggest that people should be optimistic for his play. Now, me personally, as a Zach Wilson fanboy, I'm hoping that this new system with Nathaniel Hackett can turn, and he can just play simplified football, screen game, quick game, right? Use Garrett Wilson, but for sure rely on the defense in the run game, and he plays serviceable. Like, that's all he needs to be. He just needs to be serviceable. Like, average and not turn, like we always talk about, not turn the ball over. I know it's a hard ask when you're going against defense like the Cowboys, but he just needs to be serviceable. But I don't blame, let me just put it this way. I don't blame people, every person out there basically that I'm saying that is super, how do I put this, suspect on whether or not he's going to, like, they don't believe he can play well. And like I said, I can't blame people. There's nothing we've seen so far that would suggest otherwise.
I just want to add to everything Grant said. One, I agree. Like, I think you're 100% right. Like, Cowboys, they just put 40 on the Giants. Like, they're going to come back. They're going to be like super comfortable. I feel like they're playing the Jets. It's a trap game. There's no Rodgers. It's a huge letdown. Now they're like, oh, we were getting Rodgers. I mean, obviously, I still think Mike Parsons. I mean, the offensive line is still super sus and going to create havoc. But I just want to point this out. Like, I have some inside information from a very good source. That Zach Wilson didn't know all his plays. Like that is like players told the source who relayed it back to me.
What does that?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like he didn't have all the whole command of the offense. Like he didn't know all the plays. He didn't have all the plays.
What?
Isn't that crazy? I was like, that's crazy. But I will say, I do, like, again, like I agree with everything Grant was saying, and like I said, like Zach Wilson is from what I heard is not always the most prepared. But I do think 9 10, like, it's too many points. This defense is too freaking good. And like, yeah, it's too ridiculous, And like, what Sexy Red is what they were listening to on the field. Like, these dudes are dogs.
Yep.
That's all I gotta say.
I'll go next
Connor.
here. Yeah, I come on this podcast.
The clip is back now.
I come on this podcast, guys, and I bear gifts. So I hope you left your cookies and milk out for old Connor Sparrow clause here, because if the
I do have some frankincense and myrrh.
Ooh, wow! Don't tempt me with a good time, Carter. I come with gifts here in the form of on action right now. I haven't been able to find it on FanDuel or DraftKings, but if the action odds are any indication, a Zach Wilson, Taysom Hill, Mormon moneyline touchdown parlay is over plus 4,000 this week.
Oh! I already put it in. It's
no, you did not.
It's plus 52 hundo.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that is easily getting played
on FanDuel. It is plus 52 hundo.
Really, I couldn't find anytime touchdown on FanDuel for the Cowboys game.
Yeah, it's up now. It just got put up.
Oh, well, there you have it, folks. More moneyline parlays back. As far as the game goes, I'm going to hold my nose and probably bet the under, or I'll come to my senses and not bet it at all. But I think if I had to choose, I'd bet the under. I don't even know if 38.5 is low enough. I think both these defenses are stout, and Dak's going to turn it over, and you can't trust Zach Wilson.
Are we slightly concerned that the defenses might score 38 points themselves?
That's the thing. The defenses can score.
Yeah, what's a parlay for both of them to score?
Or just put them in great positions.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Short fields of field goals. Like they're going to get field goals. I promise you, there's going to be field goals in this game.
So over.
That's true.
Free points. There's going to be a ton of points in this game. I have to ride Jets. I have to ride Jets plus 9.5. I'm with you, Grant.
Let's ride, boys.
That's terrifying.
Look, I will say something for my boy, for Zach. I've heard nothing but nonstop. Like I said, just everyone is like, bro, this kid, trade for Tom Brady, trade for Colt McCoy, trade for whoever has a pulse. Basically, that's kind of the vibe. Like, trade for literally any person that can breathe in the stands. Trade for anyone. That's all I'm hearing all today. Look, if he's, I will say this, like I said, because he's a BYU guy, there's that affinity towards him. If he can't get them to at least like competitive in the playoff, or like I'm saying like to the playoffs, or like almost a wild card, like right there with this roster, bro, it's done. It's done.
He's just got to be better than last year.
You just can't roll with him anymore. Like if they don't do something with this running game, with these receivers and this defense is legit. If he doesn't do something with that, like you can't defend that. You just can't defend that. So look, prove it here at this point. Zach Wilson, year 3.
I know Saleh said it's his team, but I can't help but think the leash is going to be short this year. I don't know if you saw Saleh's face on Twitter. It was everywhere when that look of death when he realized what was going to happen. I think the leash is going to be shorter than he's letting on. So if Zach Wilson doesn't have it by week 5 or 6, they're going to have to go somewhere else.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a Woody Johnson decision? Because from my understanding, like Zach Wilson has all of the talent, like the tools, like he can make every throw, he hits sidearm, like by all accounts, like we see all the things and we're like, so this is just like a pattern recognition kind of thing. Like he's not seeing the windows, he's not seeing the second windows. Like that's what it seems like. So like I'm just confused as to like to Grant's point, like I think it's such a money point. Like if this dude can't win, like Brock Purdy would win on this team, and Zach Wilson is way more talented than Brock Purdy ever will be or could ever like think to be. So it's curious to see, what ends up happening. I know others need to go on, but I'm just saying.
Two things. One, I think Jacoby Brissett just makes too much sense for the Jets. It just seems too easy. The other thing isn't Woody Johnson's Zach Wilson's off the field nickname?
It's there's a weird relationship. Like they like each other. There's something there, and Woody Johnson was
game respects game.
2 ambassadors.
Oh man, I just think it comes down, boys. It just comes down to, like I said, is at this point with this much talent, like if you can't win with this, like I said, it's time to move on. The experiment's over. But the only silver lining is you're not giving up a first, right? Because he's not going to play 65% of the snaps. That's the only silver lining there. And then also, you can find out if he's going to be a quarterback, yes or no. You don't have to keep him around as like this, learning from Aaron Rodgers experiment. Maybe we're going to use him in 2 years, and you can just move on at that point. So there are a couple like good things for the Jets. Like I said, I know they're like Super Bowl or bust type vibes. That's not going to happen. They're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. But look, you'll see what you have in Zach, and if he does well, if he plays a lot better, then like I don't know, Rodgers might come back, and I don't know, we'll see. But like, you got to win with this roster. Period.
Quick fire before we move on. Everybody give their pick in this game. I'm going Jets plus 9.5. Grant, your Jets plus 9.5. Dylan, what's yours?
Defensive anytime touchdown scorer.
I like it. Bryan?
I do too.
It's plus 9.5. Like there's that's to me. I don't like saying the L word around here. You know what I mean? I don't like jinxing stuff. But that feel like I'm very, very, very confident in that line. And that's why I was asking earlier if we think that line's going to move at all. Because if it doesn't move, then like I don't know. Like it's just crazy to me that this is the number at where it's at.
I don't think it's above 10. There's no way.
No, I mean I was saying down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I watched Zach Wilson enough last year. As much as y'all tried to talk me out of it, I'm still holding my nose and taking the under if I had to pick something in this game.
I think like Scout's honor, I have to take on FanDuel. Zach Wilson anytime touchdowns plus 1,000 right now. I have to take
Is it really?
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I have to take it.
Bro,
That's pretty good value. Yeah, that's pretty good value.
Yeah, he's gonna get blitz, and he's just gonna have to sprint for his life, and then hopefully dive in and get a touchdown.
Could be a sneak, or like the
or Philly special.
Yeah, how we
last year.
The parlay last year. All right, let's move on. AFC East. Dolphins at Pats, Sunday Night Football. Last game we're covering, and then we'll do bets and get out of here. Dolphins at Pats. Dolphins -3 now. It's moved up to -3 as we were recording. Over under 46.5. Dylan with the Garfield. Tell me what's up.
It's not good. Part of my explanation was the fact that I was reading that the Dolphins were such a heavily bet on side, and they haven't moved the line to 3 yet. Because I love the Patriots here, and we talked about it a little bit with the Eagles game. The Patriots outplayed the Eagles. And that's not a small feat. Keep in mind, I mean, the Eagles were a top-tier team last year. And the Patriots outgained them by over 100 yards. It lost the turnover battle. But the Dolphins, man, the Dolphins are such a fun team to watch. Tua's an MVP candidate if he stays healthy. Tyreek Hill, Offensive Player of the Year, front runner by far if he stays healthy. So I'm on the Patriots. I took the Patriots earlier in the week. They impressed me against. They really impressed me against the Eagles. I was surprised with Mac Jones's competence. So I'm on the Patriots.
Bryan.
I'm on the Patriots as well. I do actually, if I like we talked about, I think we talked about it earlier. Like if I had to pick a number, or I like the under. I think both defenses are really good. I don't think the Patriots offense can stay with the Dolphins offense as much as like when it comes to making explosive plays. I think the offense has to depend on the defense a lot to kind of like, give the offense like some good field positioning. But I like the Patriots here. But I do like the under more than anything of all the things.
Nice. Connor.
I think I'm with Bryan here on the under. I wrote down under. DraftKings has it at 47 right now, so that's probably the best number on the market. I think both defenses are respectable. I think the Dolphins turned a lot of heads last week, but they played the Chargers, so we knew that was going to be a shootout. Honestly, we should have just blindly bet the over in that game. I can't believe we didn't. The Patriots offense also looked okay against the Eagles, but do I trust Mac Jones to get me over 48? Not really. So.
We can say it. The Patriots offense looked good. It was a good offense.
The take away that pick six, the offense itself looked double, triple as good as it did last year. It did.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, like that game, if you take away that pick six, it's a different game. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I was low on the Patriots coming in, but it wasn't a dumpster fire like I thought it would be on offense.
Exactly. And then it's my rule against the bet against Bill Belichick. I just don't do it. I hate it. I don't bet against that man. I don't, let's just put it this way. I don't know if it's that hot of a take. The Dolphins will not look like they looked like against the Chargers. The game will be ugly. The game will be weird. There's going to be stuff going on. So that's why I lean. I think for me, it's a complete stay away. I'm not going to bet anything on either one of these sides just because, again, AFC East games, they're crazy. But I would lean the Patriots. I'm with you guys. I'd lean the Patriots at the points. I don't bet against Belichick. I don't like how he muddies up the game. Tua will not look like the same Tua last week. Let's just put it that way. That's how it's going to go.
I have a question. I know Dylan's about to go crazy. Are we sure Tua's any good?
Oh my gosh, he just threw for 500 yards.
But in Brian's defense, you did say the Chargers defense is horrendous.
It is an NFL professional defense. I don't care what. I don't care if it's the Titans. I don't care if it's the Titans.
That's not saying a lot. The Bears defense last year is technically an NFL professional defense.
Oh, they were so bad last year. Oh, they were so bad.
I don't know. I mean, Tyreek Hill, he's super accurate. I don't know. Maybe it's a lefty thing. Maybe I'm just an idiot. But every time I'm like, man, Tyreek Hill is pretty open there. And then Tyreek Hill runs for 30 yards. I know it's 500 yards, and that's all good and well. I just don't know yet. I just don't know yet.
The guy was an MVP candidate before his brain turned to mush last year. The guy was the favorite for the MVP. That is better than Mahomes. That's better than the Josh Allen that we were all just schmoozing over 30 minutes ago. That's better. This is taking a lot for me. This is better than Kirk Cousins. This guy
wasn't difficult to see Patrick Mahomes.
This guy was an MVP candidate. And he is still. Okay. He's a good quarterback. If he stays healthy, yes, he's a good quarterback. It doesn't matter what pass defense he plays.
Wait,
that's not even the thing. The Chargers' defensive issues aren't against the pass. They can't stop the run. They've never been able to. Never.
Okay, but Dylan, Were you saying that Tua is better than Patrick Mahomes?
There's the clip.
I didn't
He's
say
trying to bait
Tua's,
the clip. He's baiting the content. Be careful here.
I am baiting.
He's got the hook out there. He's trying to reel you in.
There we go.
this year.
Oh, come on.
No,
Get him
no,
ratioed
no, no.
up. Get him
I
ratioed up.
I'm not. Even if you say it, I still will clip it.
come on.
Actually,
It's going to ruin our
I'm gonna clip
credibility.
it.
Don't do it, Carter.
If Tua stays, if Tua can play all of the games, he will have more passing yards than Patrick Mahomes.
Say the words. He is better than Patrick Mahomes. You don't.
The
Say-
last 2 years have shown us that Tua is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that is so fucking crazy, dog.
That is, no. It's not crazy. It's just dumb.
How is it dumb?
Who was in the
Tell
Super
me.
Bowl? He won the Super Bowl, dude.
But
He's got two.
He won the Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill.
You are nitpick. He didn't play all season last year. He played 13 games, and you're talking about Patrick Mahomes, who went to the Super Bowl. Well, yeah, because he was there all season. Tua wasn't there all season.
I'll say it. I don't believe it.
Same thing the whole year, though, right?
I'll say it. I don't believe. I don't think Dylan's being for real here. I think this is a bit. I think we need to call a bit out. There's no way this is legit. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. There's no debate.
They tried with Allen. They tried, but
I don't know what you. I mean, he didn't play all season. You can't talk about last season. There was a point last year where Tua was the favorite for the MVP. When he was healthy and Patrick Mahomes was healthy, he was the betting favorite.
What? But at a certain point, right? Like, do you believe that the projections that they were moving towards? Do you believe that Tua would have stayed the front runner over Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts all year long?
There are people out there that are smarter than me that would not have made Tua the favorite if they didn't think that was an actual possibility, or he was more likely to win it other than Patrick or Jalen.
That point is fair.
Okay, two counterpoints though. One, isn't that media bias though? Patrick Mahomes had already won an MVP. It's a little Patrick Mahomes was kind of just like, all right, fine, you're the best guy at the end of the day, kind of thing. But the other counterpoint I have is put Patrick Mahomes on this Dolphins team. He might be averaging 600 yards a game.
yeah, exactly.
But that's not. Is that the question that the MVP voters are asking? It's not put Patrick Mahomes on this team or that team. It's the team that they have. So I don't know how the MVP stuff goes. And on a serious note, I really don't know how they look at that. But when you look at Tua having 500-yard games, it doesn't matter who's at wide receiver. And I guess if they add that context, then maybe he's in trouble. But I don't think they do. And even if they do, the Chiefs, whenever he gets back, they do have one of the best tight ends ever. I mean, he's virtually another wide receiver.
Yeah.
Brian, go ahead.
Tyreek Hill's the best player on that team. It's not even Tua.
But you can't say Tua's not as good because he has a good receiver. That doesn't seem fair to me.
But you also can't say Tua is necessarily better because he has better weapons around him. Like you're saying, it matters what team they're on. It does, but just Tua versus Mahomes as a quarterback, you can't really factor in the team at that point. Then, like you can't like have a team factor in here and then not here.
But I'm not advocating for a team factor anywhere. The Dolphins won't be as good as the Chiefs,
right?
Having Tyreek Hill helps, sure, but when you're voting for the MVP and you see that Tua has making up, I don't know, 500, 750 more yards than Mahomes, and they all played 17 games. He has 5-10 more touchdowns, however many rushing touchdowns. I don't think that the context of having Tyreek Hill, I don't think that's something the MVP voters look for.
But let's just say this. Let's say this, Dylan, real quick.
Go ahead, Grant. This is your time to interrogate.
All things being equal, right? Let's just say they have the equal. You're starting a franchise. You don't have any receivers yet. You don't have any running backs yet. You don't have anything. You're starting a franchise. You can draft to start your franchise Patrick Mahomes or Tua. Who are you taking today, September 13th, 2023, if you're drafting a team? You're the GM.
I mean, I'm taking Mahomes.
That's the answer.
My last point on this, real quick, is just
okay.
Go ahead.
Come back to me, Connor, once you're done.
That's the answer.
This is my last thing I was going to say. Is like, I don't know necessarily how true it is in the NFL, but at least in the NBA, the MVP is not always indicative of the absolute best player in the league at that time. Like, they might have the best numbers, but if you're telling me who is the actual best player in the league, it's not always the MVP. So I will listen to an argument that says Tua might win MVP or Tua was going to be MVP last year because his numbers were showing it, but I can't go as far to say he's a better quarterback. I think those are two different things.
That's what I'm saying. If you're drafting your team right now, all things, like I said, you don't have any other weapons, you have nothing. You're just picking between those two. You take Mahomes, that's your answer. The reason why
I would take Mahomes because he has that extra year and he hasn't had any big injuries. He's proven that he can play through those things. With Tua one more hit to the head, he's probably done.
Yeah, agree with that.
So injury basically history is the only reason why you're taking Mahomes over Tua.
You're asking me a question that I would need the numbers for. I would need to look at the numbers.
What does your gut tell you today?
Huh?
What does your gut tell you today, right now, without looking at numbers? Just what your eyes are telling you.
My gut tells me Tua.
Oh my!
Don't ever change, Dylan Wilkerson.
It does. I'm telling you, it does.
I think that was the most broken down way to just say it.
I love how Dylan, you were so happy we got to go 1 against 4 here. You were dying. This is your dream.
When Tua was healthy, boys, we were all over the Dolphins last year. And Skylar Thompson comes in. I don't know. I don't know.
I just want to point this out. One of the major points that people talked about for Patrick Mahomes as winning the MVP is that he did it without Tyreek Hill. That was a talking point that people did. And then the other thing I'm going to say is there's people who think that Patrick Mahomes is already the greatest quarterback they've ever seen. And then so to me, all I'm hearing is that you think Tua is the greatest quarterback of all time now. So that's just kind of how I'm going to frame it because it's funny.
I'm allowed to say this now, Dylan. The producers at ESPN would absolutely love you. They would put you on air right now and say, "Give me your hottest take." Coming up next, why Tua is better than Mahomes? ? Coming up next on Get Up. You would be on every topic bar. You'd be on every Sports Center hit with your hot take. I'm just saying.
Who's that guy that loves every best player? And he's Nick Wright. That guy dude, that guy is always he loves Patrick Mahomes, bro. He's
he loves LeBron.
He's I called it the whole time. And I'm bro, it's an easy take being Patrick Mahomes is awesome. This dude is I've been calling it forever. I'm what the hell are you talking about, bro? Of course you would Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. All right. Quick fire, go around. Bryan, Connor, you guys said under for this game, correct? Dylan, you're on the Pats. Grant, stay
away all day, but if I had to, Pats.
Stay away from me if I had to. F it, Dolphins. I don't care. I'm not betting it, so who cares?
All right.
The best quarterback.
Stay away. I actually am betting it because it's a little teaser into what we're going to talk about next. All right, quick. We're not going to do best bets in the NFL. If you want to, great. Tweet it out. But let's do parlays, college football parlays, and then let's get out of here. NFL parlay. My pick is Packers money line.
I love that pick.
Money line. I think they're going to dominate the Atlanta Falcons. When you watch the Panthers-Falcons game, obviously, yes, the Panthers weren't great, but they are literally like the armed forces. They play just like the Navy midshipmen. Desmond Ridder can't throw the ball. The Packers defense is legit, and I'm all on the Jordan Love train, Bryan and Dylan. I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
I put all my chips into the table. I still have some Zach Wilson stock left over. It's like one of those. It's like Dogecoin. I still
Diamond
got it,
hands.
but yeah,
when everybody
dog.
When everybody bought GameStop and AMC, we're holding Zach Wilson.
We're holding, baby.
I'll hold my Zach Wilson stock. Speaking of the Zach Wilson stock I held, here it is, plus 500, plus 1,000 right there on FanDuel. So anytime touchdown on Sunday. But yeah, give me Packers money line. I think they dominate the Falcons. I might take an alternate spread, and I'm also going to tease the Falcons as well, or tease the Packers as well. Grant, give us your best bet.
Mine's the Jets plus 9.5, boys. Like we talked about, I don't have to go over it too much, but again, there's too many points to me for a defensive rock fight. Just too many.
Bryan.
Under 47 for the Dolphins and the Jets. Dolphins and the Patriots.
I got 47. I got 40. Okay, 47. Yep. Dylan.
Commanders 3.5. Broncos bad team. Sam Howell seems serviceable. And secret between us five, I have inside sources.
Don't keep that a secret.
I have inside sources. Chase Young might be back. Chase Young.
We can clip that from every episode last year.
From very OG listeners, they will know what that means.
Exactly.
So Commanders +3, and then Connor. Connor.
Yeah, so I'll close it out here. I've got Ravens Bengals over 46, like we talked about. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think Burrow bounces back this week. I think the Ravens offense is still serviceable. Lamar's going to have a big game. I like the over 46. It's not too high of a number for me.
We're doing a 5-leg parlay this week. That's it. It's Packers money line, Pats Dolphins under 47, Jets +9.5 against the Cowboys, Commanders +3.5, and Ravens Bengals over 46. I love it. It's +2,300.
Oh, that's double what we usually have. That's beautiful right there.
Yeah, 5-legger. We're coming back for revenge. We're coming out of the gates hot, and then we're gonna do an NFL anytime touchdown parlay, a college football parlay, and maybe a couple best bets at the very end. But let's do the anytime touchdown parlay. I'll start it off. I have DK Metcalf +140 anytime touchdown. Grant, go next.
I'm finally. The problem is beforehand we're going back and forth on it, guys, and so. Man, I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown.
Garrett Wilson? I have Tyler Algier written down. Where are you going? Make up your mind. We're going to go to you. I'm like the waiter at the restaurant. You know, we're at Chili's. You don't know which 3 for $10 you want. I'm going to come back to you, Grant. All right? Let's go to Bryan.
You're trying to save me from being even more frustrating with Zach Wilson. You're right. Tyler Algier, lock it in. Let's go.
Okay, go ahead, Bryan.
I got IU +210.
All right, Dylan.
Anytime TD.
Tajay Spears outsnapped Derrick Henry. Anytime touchdown. 500 at DraftKings.
It's 500 on DK.
Yeah, you need to place this parlay on DraftKings, by the way, people. Need to place it on DraftKings because the other odds aren't as great. Connor, close us out here.
I'm going to go chalk here. Jamar Chase +105. I think, like I said, Bengals-Ravens is going to be a high-scoring game. Get me Jamar Chase in the end zone.
Yes, I love that. All right, that's the anytime touchdown parlay this week. Get ready for the odds on this one, fellas. You guys aren't going to think it's real, but it's real.
Hold on to your chair.
DK Metcalf +140. Tajay Spears +500. Jamar Chase +105. Tyler Algier +210. Brandon Ayuk +210. +28,000.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Those are real numbers right there.
That is
a real number.
Special. That's something special.
So, Dylan, isn't that a cookout tray bet?
That's if you win that, you're eating more. You're going to Le Bernardin over in New York. You're getting some Michelin stars.
No, we're buying a cookout. We're going to buy our own.
Oh, we're
cookout.
franchising. I like it.
Yeah, our lottery ticket, I guess. All right, and then let's do a college football one. Before we get into the parlay, Dylan, give me some of your best bets this week for college football, and if anybody else has them, follow after Dylan.
5-star play. Oh my gosh, I've reverted back to Snoopy. I didn't know this was happening. Oh, okay. UMass Eastern Michigan under 52. That's the 5-star. 5-star last week was Rice. They won outright. I like Liberty -4 is another big play, and I'll give you one more. I got Alabama on upset watch.
USF?
Yep. They average the most plays per game this year. They're gonna run them out the house, and it's an away game. We know how Alabama is away.
No. This is a home game. This is a home game at Raymond James.
USF +36 or 32 or whatever it is. All the rest is on my Action Network.
I am very scared to go against Nick Saban after a loss like that. Count me out on that one. Real quick, the ones I have, BYU first half team total over 9.5. And then if you have it, if the book has it, give me Keanu Hill anytime touchdown. Keanu Hill and a little Isaac Rex sprinkle in there as well. So put those in for me. South Alabama +7 or 7.5, whatever you get it at against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State stinks. Yes, they beat Arizona State last week. Arizona State really stinks. The Southern Utah coach who played them the week before, he even said, oh, that Arizona State team sucks. I mean, we were within 3 points. There's no reason we should have been within 3. They stink. So they give me South Alabama +7. And then I have my other pick I'll put in the parlay as well. Anybody else have college football bets, or do we want to do the parlay?
I'll just say this one. I've got a parlay pick, which we'll go over, and then I like Carolina this week against Minnesota. They started off as -7. They're up to 7.5, even 8 on a couple books. They've had a couple rough weeks. They've looked pretty average. I think they bounce back this week against Minnesota. It's in Chapel Hill. I don't think Minnesota's a good team. We saw them barely squeak by against Nebraska. Give me the Heels -7.5.
I love it. Anybody else got a college football pick, or let's do the parlay?
Yeah, I got a pick that I got locked in early. I just want to talk. I know we're heavy on the BYU content today on college football, which is never great, but I locked them at 10.5, which, like I said, I love that. I do think the defense is much improved for BYU. Like I said, we've talked about it, and I think Keaton Slovis can keep it within 10.5 points. So I love that play. I'm on it. And like I said, we already have it. I'll have another play for the parlay.
All right, I love it. Let's do the college football podcast parlay. 0-3, week 0, week 1, week 2, not great. We could have won last week. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, whatever.
Oh man!
Also on the Anytime. I didn't bring it up. You should applaud me, Dylan, but I'm not bringing it up. But some are saying DeAndre Hopkins sold the parlay last week on the NFL Anytime touchdown.
Well, there's another play that sold another parlay that I would never bring up on a last minute pick 6, but
some are saying
that.
Some are saying that any one of us 5 could have thrown better passes than Ryan Tannehill on Sunday. So I don't know who's saying that, but
that was a low blow. That was uncalled for.
Showed out
it's
well,
not. Well, it's
nice.
It's not DeAndre Hopkins' fault. That's what I'm saying.
That's true too.
Grant,
That's true.
Grant, what was my biggest preseason win total? Kansas over.
Kansas. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm betting on them over here. We use them as my play. It's free money. It's free money. Kansas is nice.
You're right. All right.
Nice.
We have a 5-legger again in college football. All of us have a pick. I'll start off. Duke Northwestern over 48.5. I think this Duke team just scores 50 by themselves. I think Duke might lose some garbage time points to Northwestern. They put up 38 against UTEP, who's one of the worst teams in college football. So, I mean, they lost to Jacksonville State. Shout out Jacksonville State money line week 0. I think that game's going to end like 42-20, like a weird score like that. I think it easily goes over. Give me the over 48.5 in Duke Northwestern.
I like it. I can go next here for college football. I've got Maryland -14.5 against Virginia. If you want to buy the half point, and go -14, it's like -122 or 23 or something. Do it if it makes you feel better. They looked a little sketchy. Maryland has. They're 0-2 against the spread this year. They had an opener. They won 38-6. They're favored by 38, so they didn't cover that one. And then they played Charlotte last week, and there was some weird vibes. They were down 14-0.
That was dicey.
They were down 14-0 against Charlotte, so I think it's a little bit of a reaction. Virginia's bad. As a guy who watches a lot of ACC football, it's sad, but Virginia's just not a good team. So give me Maryland -14.5 for the parlay.
I don't want to do this all over again, but I think Tua's brother is better than Tua. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to do this over again. I just want to say
no.
If that was the case, he'd be in the league because he's been in Maryland for 8 years.
And the flame has been ignited.
Shout out previous podcast guest, Ben. I watched. He's a diehard UVA football fan. So
I'm sorry, Ben.
Yeah, I mean that sucks. They had a freshman quarterback come in. He's better than the starter. The starter's playing against Maryland. Tony Muskett. He flat out blows dong. I mean, he is awful. He sucks nuts. And so I'm all in on Maryland on Friday. Give me Maryland straight up. I love the pick, Connor.
Thank you, Carter. I love it.
I'll go next,
Grant.
Yeah, I'll go next. I got Ole Miss first half -10.5. Again, my original play was that BYU +10.5, but you can't get that right now. It's only at +8. So I'm taking Ole Miss -10.5 first half. They're at home. They are one of the most efficient passing teams. Georgia Tech is not a very good team. And like I said, they just roll. They roll quickly, too. So I love that first half play.
I like this, too, because they came out slow against Tulane. And I was able to live bet Ole Miss money line against Tulane. Tulane's not a bad team by any means.
No, they're
they
good.
Came out slow and they bounced back. I see Ole Miss coming out hot out of the gate at home. I like the pick. Bryan, give us a pick.
All right, haven't helped this pick. This is a hate pick plus Wyoming plus 28.5. I genuinely don't know if Wyoming's got some fight in them. And huge letdown now that Texas beat Alabama. They did their thing. This is a perfect place for them to just take their foot off the gas.
Wyoming. Wait, what was the spread again?
Plus 28.
29.
29.
29.5. Don't sell yourself short at that point. You may need it.
All right, Wyoming plus 29.5 against Texas. I kind of like that because we saw Texas take the foot off the gas against Rice and slow down and say, okay, well, they're doing the Michigan, Dylan. You know, Michigan keeps winning these games 35-10. It's a great win, but, you know, great teams cover.
Yeah, Michigan does it a different way. Let's just say that. They're
Michigan men.
class. Yeah, Michigan men. It's just how they are. Built different.
Yeah. Dylan, close us out.
UMass is going to make the trip to Ypsilanti, Michigan, playing on a beautiful gray field, beautiful gray turf. And let me tell you, the bucket list field for me. I would love to go to Ypsilanti, home of Black Jake and the Carnies, if you didn't know that. I'm going under on the gray turf, very slow turf.
Well, hold up. Brian.
No turf is beautiful, first of all.
I saw Brian's face when he said that. Brian.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
Who the fuck are Black Jake and the Carnies?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And why are they a crew that rolls together? Dylan, what's going on? Are you a juggalo? What's happening here?
They're the original kings of bluegrass.
No.
Wait,
Are you
Bluegrass
serious?
is part- Don't say, "Are you serious?" Like I should know that, Dylan.
Yeah, come on.
I have no
Dylan,
idea.
I shouldn't know the originators of bluegrass. Look at me.
No, not the originators, the original kings. The original kings of bluegrass.
It's them, AOC, and
Black
Tua
Jake and
all
the
in a fan
Carnies?
club together.
He inspired Pluma.
This is two and on.
Pluma. That's why
This
we have
is-
Pluma now.
This is two and on. Yes.
Yeah, that's Pluma.
Well, Babytron. Ypsilanti's own Babytron? No?
lost
We're
me.
not familiar with Ypsilanti? Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me.
Sorry, coach.
Are you
There's
talking-
Insomnia Cookies on campus, just across from the field.
There's
I'm all-
insomnia cookies on like every campus.
Now you've piqued my
Ypsilanti.
interest. Fat guy minute real quick. I could use some insomnia right about now.
Slow turf, gray turf, Black Jake and the Carnies. I'm going under UMass at Eastern Michigan.
All right. That's the college football podcast parlay this week. It is Duke Northwestern over 48.5, Maryland minus 14.5 against Virginia, Ole Miss minus 10.5 against Georgia Tech, Wyoming plus 29.5 against Texas, UMass, Eastern Michigan under 52 plus 2,300. I love it. That's just the perfect way to close out this podcast.
Poop Fecta
Shout out
parlay.
Raf Gerganoff.
And the Carnies. Who is it?
Black
Jake in the car.
Black Jake and the Carnies.
It would be so incredible if you tweeted out to AOC like, "Big fan, love your work. Have you like, do you know Black Jake and the Carnies? Like these
Do you think you
originators
can
of
hook me up?
bluegrass.
The next rally, like, you know,
They're-
music up the next rally.
You gotta have them in the next time you're doing something at the Bronx."
You guys seriously didn't hear about this? Black Jake is doing the honorary kickoff to the Carnies at this game.
What are you talking about?
Bro, I'm
This is a
like,
bit.
I'm not
Wait, is-
following this.
I
need-
lost everybody except Connor.
Let's get stats department on. Hold up.
Is
Just-
Black Jake and the Carnies two separate things?
that's what I'm saying. What is Black Jake?
Yeah,
Is
it's
Jake
like
a band?
it's like Jesse
Is
and the
Jake
Rippers.
actually-
They're a band. It's a bluegrass band. So you have Black Jake and the Carnies. That's the honorary kickoff for this game.
Is Jake
Okay,
actually black?
Guys.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah. that's the
Black
Jake.
Jake is not black, guys.
Yeah.
He's going
Black
I
to
Jake.
never
Black
said that
Jake.
it was politically correct.
A little juggalo looking. What is this clown stuff we got going? Guys, you might need to
Carnies.
look this up.
All right, I'm googling this.
I'm sure it's
Hey,
the Carnies.
Okay,
AFC's
I
not
don't
gonna
feel
like
bad.
this.
I don't feel bad about.
My bad,
I don't-
guys.
I feel bad about not knowing this because the Wikipedia page is 4 sentences. Guys, are you?
I
looking
can't
at
know
this?
history about something that has 4 sentences. I'm sorry. I don't know enough stuff to be focused on
Dylan.
something that has
4 sentences, 4 plays,
What?
4
Dylan.
seconds.
What?
Black Jake.
They want to be like that. Like you already know where I'm going with this. Is this? I'm just so confused because I'm seeing photos where they're not dressed up, like they're like cast members of like some Universal Studios Halloween Horror Night thing, and then I'm
The
seeing
the
them
Addams
dressed
Family?
up like the Mumford and Sons. Like I
What the hell
don't
is this?
understand. I don't understand this group.
Oh my god.
What do you mean? They're the original kings of bluegrass.
It's
That
Black
Moonlight
Jake and the
universe?
Carnies. What do you not understand?
Fuck, man.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
That's on me. My
I
bad.
thought you guys knew.
No,
this
Dylan,
is
that's
the
on me.
greatest-
That's on me.
That's the greatest.
My bad. I should have known. I
Guys,
should have known.
No,
That's on me. It's on me. I take responsibility.
Hand
That's on
up,
me, guys.
Hand up. There you
All
go.
Guys,
Sorry,
right there, bro.
I just-
100% too.
I just Googled famous people from Ypsilanti, Michigan.
How long's the list?
It's actually they got a lot of last names covered. There's A, B, C, D, E. I mean, they got pretty much all the alphabet covered.
guys.
incredible.
Their top song on Spotify has 9,000 plays. That's less.
The Kings.
That's less than this podcast.
Like I said, that's on me. I should have known better.
Bro, Black
Oh,
Jake
that
and the Carnies, bro.
Like Jake and the Carnies.
I don't want to gaslight anybody. I did not know about them until I Googled that. I was trying to be funny.
Oh, I'm leaving all. I'm cutting that end part out. I'm leaving all that in there.
100%, bro. Black Jake and the Carnies, bro. That's gotta stay. That's gold.
All right,
That's
let's
funny.
close out here. All right, thank you guys so much for listening. If you made it to the end, you were just given the best gift of all time. That was hilarious. Make sure to subscribe. Follow us all on Twitter. You know the drill. I don't have to repeat it. Subscribe wherever you're listening. Follow us all on Twitter. It's all in the episode description. All of our Twitter accounts and CarterCast on everything. Thank you so much. We're going to cash some parlays. The Panthers are back. 2 episodes in a row, I didn't talk about the Panthers. I'm on a roll, guys. I'm on a roll. We might make it 3 next week. Panthers +3 against the Saints. That's all I have to say. But we'll be back next on Sunday night, preview or recap, whatever. I'm out of it now. That's it. We're out of here. Cash the parlays. We're done. Bye-bye.